Willie Pep, on the other hand, was the greatest creative artist I ever saw, the featherweight champion. And to me, he was like a poet, because poetry implies as well as states. And Willie, with his painting, would imply it much. So to watch Willie box at his best was almost as if I could hear music playing.
My style is, he who hits and runs away lives to fight another day. So that's what I did for 29 years. I tried to hit and run, and I got away with it.
A good fighter first starts like a good pianist. You start with the chords first. You start with the rudiments first. A good boxer like Willie starts with the basic moves. The left out there, the right over here. Then you go into speed, maneuvering your opponent. And after that, you get into real art. And Willie Pep had those great moves. Some of them you saw for the first time, even if you saw it like 20 times. It was never monotonous. And when you don't want to do this when you're covering a fight, because you want to look at the two people fighting. But when Willie Pep fought, I just looked at him. My God, he was a show within himself, you know.
Willie Pep, when he was in his prime, was the most beautiful thing in the world to watch boxing. He could make moves. He was fantastic in his prime, and when he's in great shape.
One of the greatest stories is Willie Pep has told some of the writers that, watch me, tonight I'm going to win a round without throwing a punch. And wouldn't you know it, he's spinning, he's moving, he's ducking, he's got shoulders going, he's spinning him, he's behind him, he's ahead of him, but he doesn't throw a punch. He won it on all three cards that round. In 1947, in January, he was in a plane crash, small plane. First thought was, there's no way he could survive. Second thought, no way he's going to walk. Third thought, he's not going to fight again.
That was the end of Willie's career. Everybody, all the columnists were writing, what a great champion Will o' the Wisp was, and too bad he can't fight anymore. And 6 months later, we hear he's in the gym.
He forfeited the chance to collect insurance money. The obvious is, well, your client is hardly debilitated. Look at him. He's over in the ring fighting and winning.
Well, I don't know, he must have had about 70, 80 fights after that accident.
You know, money is the name of the game. That's why I box so much. I box 2, 3 times a month. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. But that was really, I was making money.
I've watched these guys on tape, and I've studied their styles, the tactics, the personalities, because they fought so many more times than I did. I mean, I had, what, 38, I'm 38 and 2 or 3. I had like 40-some fights, 40 professional fights. They had like 240 fights or 340 fights. But I do admire those guys because they kind of paved the roads for me to be where I am.
By 1947, he was a little bit over his prime. Didn't matter. He could still fight. And maybe with the exception, it goes back to that old thesis of styles make fights, that Sadler was too big for him and too powerful. Sadler got him on the ropes, and he blasted Pep out in 4 rounds.
Sandy Saddler's style was the worst thing that Willie Pep would ever encounter. First of all, he was very tall.